Creating levels in Mario Maker 2 is amazing. So much creativity is poured into this game, and quite some of my favorite parts of the game are the boss fights that people come up with. But there are a few in-game bosses, and today I figured out why not take a look at them and rank them. The ranking will be based off of the attacks that they can do, preference, and slightly on difficulty. Anyway, let's stop talking, let's get into it. Starting off the list, we have Boom Boom, but to be honest, I don't know how to describe him.
You only need 2 words to describe Boom Boom. Mad Lad. Sure, this dude is super easy to defeat, and that's exactly why he's solo on the list. Yeah, but if you decide not to jump on his head immediately and let him be, you'll see all of the cool moves he has in store. In the Super Mario Bros. Style, Boom Boom swings his arms around while moving left and right and jumps a lot to try to destroy you. Well, come to think of it, that's pretty much all he does in the other traditional game styles too. The Mad Lad shines when it comes to the Super Mario 3D World theme though, as he now has this new tornado spin attack that makes him super dangerous, although it does make him dizzy after a while. You okay there, buddy? Boom Boom can also hide in his shell and move around and even make it invisible. Now this is epic. He's pretty easy to defeat, sure, but he's still a pretty resourceful guy, you gotta give him that.
Yo, thanks Nico. I wouldn't have guessed there are so many fascinating parts to this so-called Mad Lad. Whether he's just doing a regular kidnapping, playing dirty tricks on Mario, or pimping out in a wedding outfit, we have Bowser coming up next and he's coming in clean. Bowser's an alright boss with a fair difficulty, but the only reason he's low on the list is because the scarce variety of attacks that he has and the originality of them. Bowser jumps around and spits fire, and that's pretty much it, although I do have to give credit where credit's due, and I think it's awesome that in the Super Mario Bros. 3 style, Bowser does his butt slam attack from the game. Sure, Bowser's kinda boring, but there's no harm done in spicing him up a little, maybe with the size or where you fight him. Up next begins the Koopalings, and I won't be going too in depth with these fellas, considering they are more or less the same with their spinning shell attacks and wands. But some of them have a little more to themselves than others. The Koopalings will all be one after another because I don't think of them as better or any worse than the other bosses on this list. So I guess you could say it's a ranking inside of a ranking. Larry has to deal with the fact that he's lowest when it comes to the Koopalings because of his basic beam and shell spinning attacks with low difficulty. While in other games Iggy has a pet chain chomp or something else to keep his battle intriguing, he doesn't have it in Mario Maker, and that kinda stinks because he's one of my favorite Koopalings in other titles. Iggy is like Larry, just a little more whack in the game and that's all. But if it makes you feel better, you can always just put a chain chomp next to him. Well, what can I say about Wendy? All she does is prance around. She's only higher than the other 2 Koopalings because she's got rings that float around while you fight her. I mean, they don't really add anything to the battle, but what can I say? For the longest time, I thought this Koopaling's name was pronounced Ludwig when it's actually pronounced Ludwig. Ludwig is basically Lemmy and Iggy combined, it's just that he has a little flutter jump like Yoshi that differentiates him from them. Also, the energy he shoots from his wand is slightly different and chaotic compared to the other Koopalings. While Lemmy seems like a discount Larry, Lemmy's got one thing that differentiates him from Larry: bouncy balls. Before you call the FBI on me, I want you to know that he uses rubber bouncy balls not as an attack, but to get in your way when you try to attack him. Roy is my boy, and he's my second favorite Koopaling. For his attacks, he digs underground and pops back up. He can also shake the floor and stun you. Morton is my favorite Koopaling, and no, it's not because I'm an edgy teen. While his jump stun attack is kinda like Roy's, he's got one more aspect that sets his stun apart. Morton's stun attack shoots fire below his feet, and I think that's really cool, and it can get Mario into some predicaments. Leaving the Koopaling side of things, yes, he's not a Koopaling, we can discuss that later, we have Bowser Jr. coming in next. While he may seem boring like his father, Bowser Jr. is a distinct mix between the Koopalings and Bowser. He breathes fire, but unlike his dad, the fire is directly coming towards you. He can also do a jump stun attack and a shell attack like Koopalings can do. All of these factors make him so high up on the list, even though he's easy to defeat. If you actually give him a chance to breathe during the fight, you might be in a cool boss fight. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, if you put him in a Koopa car, he'll also throw shells at you. Now isn't that neat? Pom Pom is an exclusive boss to the Mario 3D World engine. She's like Boom Boom in the Koopalings, except her attacks are way cooler. She's basically a ninja, she throws shurikens, and she knows the technique of Bunshin no Jutsu, aka cloning herself. It was hard to decide where to put her on the list because she is relatively easy, but it only makes sense to put her above all the other bosses because of her sweet ninja techniques. You couldn't have the Super Mario 3D World style without the final boss of 3D World, and Meowser does a great job of being that boss. He can jump, shoot fire, and attack between the foreground and the background, making it a little tricky to decide when you want to attack him. You can attack this acrobatic boss with some help from power-ups and POWs. There are many creative things that you can do with the boss like Meowser, like add pipes to throw POWs in, or make the floor fall so you're limited to wait for Meowser to strike. To summarize it up, Meowser is definitely my favorite boss in Super Mario Maker 2, no doubt about that, and that's why he's number 1 on this list. I hope you enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you did, I'd appreciate it. Also, make sure you check out the CEO of Mad Lads himself, NicoBBQ. Anyway, let me know down in the comments below who your favorite boss in Mario Maker 2 is, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care!